Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for more solo leveling Ragnarok. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Yo, peoples! Qushu92 here, and welcome back to more of solo leveling Ragnarok. Last we left out on Suho, I was about to say Jino, but Suho found himself in the same dungeon all those chapters ago, back in the special episodes. You know, when he had memories of going through that dungeon before. He finds himself there, and it's just these long corridors filled of nothing filled with nothing but doors. Filled with nothing but doors. And he comes across a boss room, which just so happens to have, end of tutorial Suho, who easily one-shots him and completely obliterates his body. Because the system is going through a bit of an issue right now. So he continues to explore, finds toddler version of himself, and his toddler version basically snaps his neck. And he wakes up again, thinking that he has only 3 lives to use. He sees that there's this endless tower at his spawn point that just shows nothing but lit lanterns, effectively giving him infinite retries to get past this entire area. Sorry, throat has been uncooperative today. I'm not sick, but it's just one of those where if you breathe in some dust, it just tickles you a little bit. Cohagen and Hybrid, it's good to see you as always. He finds himself in this corridor with just endless amounts of lanterns, which seems to mean endless amount of retries. Cause his new mission now in this dungeon is to take out what is causing this anomaly. An otherworldly outer realm source is messing with the system. So Suho now has to find out what that is. Let's begin with chapter 44. And we see this long, endless tower, and Suho is shocked to see all of these lanterns just up there. So, does this mean I have as many lives as the torches that are lit? Is this a good thing? But I've got no way to level up while I'm stuck in this place. The system has been compromised by an outer realm source. Maybe this system error is the reason I got such an impossible quest? Quest info. Defeat the entity behind the closed doors. You will have as many chances as the lives you've been given. Enemies to defeat. 1. Notification. You will not be allowed to exit the dungeon until you have cleared the job change quest. Because Suho is in the middle of a job change quest right now, but the system has been compromised, so what would be a normal job change quest has now turned into defeat entity that's messing with the system as a whole while in the middle of this job change quest. And his adversaries just happens to be different versions of himself that are also incredibly more powerful than him. If that's the case, there's no guarantee that these torches symbolize how many lives I've got. And he gulps. But I can't just give up. And he steps forward. I've got to keep moving forward. And he walks right back into the abyss again. Haphazard corridors and boss chambers that pop up in random places. There's a good chance that there are other boss chambers here aside from those two. The problem is, I've got no way of knowing just how big this maze is. But I guess I've got plenty of time to take a good look around. And while he's saying this, something catches his attention. And he looks down this very dark hallway. I'm feeling some sort of presence. And then something starts to walk out of the dark. No, something floats out of the dark, and it looks to be like some sort of plushie, but it's floating. The kid. If this toy is floating through the hallway, that means Kid Suho is not bound to his chamber. They can freely. If this means what I think it means. Why I get chills. If this means what. Why is this so creepy? If this means what I think it means, but we just see this plushie hovering in the air, and then we see more and more. Yep! It's It's toddler Suho, who has drawn a picture of present Suho with red crayon going straight through his neck, as if to say, I'm going to cut your head completely off and the blood is going to fly out of the side. Who wronged you? And toddler Suho just starts grinning. And Suho is shocked. Huh? Why is he here? Did he find his way out into the halls because I left his door open? I've got to get away. And he starts running, but then all of a sudden there's a bang sound that appears to take Suho's leg completely off. Something shoots through his leg and takes it off completely. At the kneecap, no less. Not the kneecap. Not the kneecap. Shin, oh. Achilles tendon, oh. But when you take out the kneecap, that's the connector. Something takes out his entire leg from the kneecap, and he's just looking down mortified. Ah! And he's just left on the ground as his leg has been separated because Kid Suho used that same plushie to basically move at such a speed it cut through his leg. Do you realize how fast you gotta move how fast you need to move a plushie? You know, like my Tsum that my brother gave me, or my Baije plushie that the dev team gave to me, the marketing team. Let me be specific. The marketing team gave to me. Imagine those moving at such a speed they literally cut a limb off. Impossible. But he's left on the ground while Kid Suho is floating behind him, using that same plushie to cut his head off. Did he just take out my leg by throwing that toy at me? Is it even possible to use the commander's authority to send an object flying that fast? See, he's asking the same question I am. How the heck am I supposed to clear this quest? Oh no. They all can walk in the hallway. They all can walk in the hallway. Because we have someone stepping forward. Someone that has black crackling lightning around him. And just walking with aura through the hall. This is tutorial end Suho. The same one that obliterated his entire body in one strike in an instant without Suho being able to even contemplate what just happened. He's in the halls too. Okay, child Suho is one thing. Expert Suho, master Suho, powerful Suho is another matter altogether, and he's just walking through the halls. He's not even running because he doesn't need to. He's basically the Jason in this situation. He's walking forward, and No! He is just standing behind Suho. Just standing there while Kid Suho's toys are floating around him. And OP Suho, I'm going to call him OP Suho. OP Suho is standing there while present day Suho is just going, "Are you kidding me?" And OP Suho does exactly what Kid Suho drew in his picture. He drew Suho getting his head cut off, and OP Suho proceeds to literally kick present Suho's head completely off of his shoulders. Just in an instant. And then we cut back to present day Suho slamming his hand into the wall. The bosses shouldn't be allowed to wander outside their chambers. That's cheating! This is just way too hard. Is this what my dad had to go through for his job change quest? No. Not even close. Jin had to go through an entire area where there was just a mob of enemies going up against him, and that was essentially it. And then when he was about to die, he was saved by not completing the daily quest he had to do. And he got pulled into the world of the centipedes, which allowed him to get like a free revive. This is just way too hard. Is this what my dad had to go through for his job change quests? But I survived. So I guess this confirms that I really do get as many lives as the number of lit torches. The condition for clearing this quest is defeating the entity in the boss chamber. So I may still be able to clear it without fighting those two. I can just look for another room, no matter how many lives it takes. And while he's saying this, we get OP Suho, who is there and already gearing up for a punch, and proceeds to obliterate Suho's body again! While Suho is having this inner monologue, OP Suho found him again and proceeds to just blow up his body. Limbs going in all directions. Not even half of his head is remaining. We just see one piece of head and hair. But he just completely obliterates Suho again. Then we get static. It's okay to die. And then we see Kid Suho using his... No, this isn't even Toddler Suho. This is actually Kid Suho. This isn't Toddler Suho, this is Kid Suho. And this version, this one has even greater control over Commander's authority, Ruler's authority. And he's already breaking Suho's arm, cracking it, and spinning it. Just twisting it in place. And Suho's screaming out in pain, bleeding from the mouth. It's okay to die. Because I've got plenty of lives. And it shows OP Suho kicking straight through Suho, literally kicking a hole in his chest. As long as I keep trying, I'm sure I'll find another boss chamber. And Suho continues to respawn. Oh. His head is gone. Sorry, he didn't respawn. It's just showing his body after it's been decapitated again. And there's just blood flying everywhere. Here, blood flying here. Blood flying there. Blood flying everywhere. Every attempt, it just shows Suho being completely obliterated over and over and over again. But what if this is a system error, and there really aren't any other boss chambers? An infinite number of lives. An unbeatable enemy. An environment where leveling up is impossible. Is this hell? And he's thinking about when he was talking to Essel, Gray, and Beru about essentially becoming the strongest being of all time. And he's just thinking of that. Oh, he says it here. I didn't even scroll down all the way down the panel. I want to become the strongest being of all time. And then Suho, still bleeding from the mouth, grits his teeth. Apparently so hard he starts bleeding. He's gritting his teeth too hard. Need a mouth guard for that when you sleep. The words I so thoughtlessly spat out have become my burden, but also what drives me forward. And he wipes the blood from his mouth. Darn it. And he smears blood on the floor. That's it. I'll draw a map of this place and add to it every time I die. I have to try everything I can. And he starts drawing out a map using his own blood. The Hunters Association has announced an official ban on the hunter stimulant known as Stardust. And we're cutting away from Suho as we cut to the news. So hold on, let me do my proper announcer voice. Also, I forgot to have chat up on my phone so that way I can pay attention and make sure if water breaks pop up, then I can take care of a water break. Okay, there we go. Alright, water. And I'm doing this before Nightbot tells me to drink some water. The Hunters Association has announced an official ban on the hunter stimulant known as Stardust. Stardust gained popularity among hunters as a stimulant without any side effects. However, it was recently revealed that many of its users were experiencing memory loss. And this has led the Hunters Association to launch an investigation into Stardust and its users. In addition, the body of Lee Min-sung, the vice president of the Reaper Guild, who was accused of being a central figure in Stardust distribution, was discovered earlier this morning by a hiker in the mountains near Paju. Many have expressed shock upon hearing that Lee Min-sung, a former celebrity who is known as the hero of all hunters, was engaging in criminal activities. The Reaper Guild is reported to be cooperating with the association to investigate. And then we get Lim Tae-gyu having to deal with all of this. This is all my fault. If only I hadn't let Lee Min-sung get away back in Paju. And I believe he's here with Choi Jong-in and Woo. Don't be hard on yourself, Guildmaster Lee. There are still a few things that are bothering me. When I caught up to him, Min-sung didn't look normal anymore. And I know he doesn't have any skills that would allow him to change his appearance like that. Are you suggesting that using Stardust helped him unlock a new skill? I can't be sure, but it's possible. And another thing, Lee Min-sung was facing off against the Masked Hunter when I found him. Then maybe the Masked Hunter is the one who killed him. And then Wu was just thinking in the background, a Masked Hunter. On that note, it seems that one of the excavators from the Paju raid has gone missing. His name is Sung Soo-ho. He's registered as a D-rank hunter, but judging by the circumstances, I have reason to suspect him to be a false ranker. And then someone pops up and goes, "May I have a look at that photo?" Of course, you're involved in this incident as well, after all. Mr. Park Dojin. He's gonna see who Suho looks like! He's gonna finally see who Suho looks like! Park Dojin is just sitting in on this meeting. Of course, you're involved in this incident as well, after all, Mr. Park Dojin. And then Park finally sees what Suho looks like. It's almost certain that Suho is a mass hunter. But why has he gone missing again? Hunter Sung Jinu, what on earth is going on with your son right now? And mind you, it shows Park just staring at the photo. I hope he's not in any danger. And then Park proceeds to put his finger over Suho's face to give like a better idea that it is him. And then Park is smiling to himself. And there's a tapping sound. And there's a tapping sound, and I guess we're going back to Suho. There's a tapping sound as we see a much larger maze of Suho drawing. Whoa! How much blood did he use to make this? The entire respawn chamber that Suho keeps landing in. Suho has basically almost taken up the entire circumference of it, mapping out this whole area, this whole series of corridors. And he's just tapping. He's tapping his finger. He looks like he hasn't gotten any sleep at all. He's got like dark circles under his eyes. And he's just constantly tapping his finger. And Suho's just sitting there and he's just gazing. And he's just tapping his finger over and over and over again. And he's just... Is that him doing the tap? Is that him doing the tapping? Or is that the sound... Or is that the sound of someone starting to walk towards him? No, I think that might be the sound of someone starting to walk towards him. Because it doesn't show his finger. If it was, it would probably show his finger, doing the motion with it. But someone is apparently starting to walk towards him while he's still in this room after drawing an entire map of the entire corridor, and that's where we stop. That's where we stop. Wow. And he's just stuck in there. Apparently he has failed so many times that he was able to map out a giant, pretty much a sizable portion of this entire area. And not only that, to make matters worse, what I feared is both OP Suho, Kid Suho, and Toddler Suho, they are just out there right now. They're just out there, casually looking for him. And he keeps getting killed by them. Imagine. By the way, Q, have I seen Kung Fury? I have not. Is that a new movie or like an old movie? First time I'm hearing of that sort of name before, so yeah, I haven't. I haven't seen it. More than likely, I haven't seen it at all. But Suho is stuck in this corridor, having to deal with different versions of himself that are vastly more powerful than him. He basically has infinite retries, but it just seems like they're just so overpowered that there's nothing they can do. On a side note, Stardust has been officially banned by the Hunters Association. There's an investigation going on. The Reaper Guild is complying with the Hunters Association. Park Dojin is sitting in and finally has a picture of who Suho is, what he actually looks like, and he's smiling to himself. But my thing is, just because you smiling don't mean that you have a better chance of taking him on, because even after you tried to take the power from his body, the system repelled you. The system basically repelled you. So, I don't know why he's smiling. But Suho apparently has been stuck in there so long he was able to map out almost all of the entire maze. So, and he still hasn't gotten any better. Still hasn't gotten any better. And now it seems like someone's about to walk up on him. One of y'all said that we only have like a couple more chapters left before the season, this particular, like the first season of this series, before we reach the end of the first season for this. So I think it was like, what, 45, 46, one of y'all said? Huh. Well, we're coming up on it. And what a way to end this chapter with Suho. What a way to end this month, actually. End this month with Suho basically stuck in this job change quest and having to deal with OP versions of themselves just constantly killing him over and over. My thing is, Toddler Suho sent a plushie so fast it literally cut off his leg. 47 chapters. Okay, so we have 45, 46, and then 47. All right, so we got 3 more before season 1 ends for the series. And I don't know if they're going to go on break after this. So, I don't know. But we'll have to see. But hey, what a way to end May for Solo Leveling Ragnarok, right? Overall, I'm curious as to how Suho's going to get out of this, because he basically has infinite retries. He has no active way to level up, so he's stuck at the level of strength that he has right now. And all versions of himself are constantly trying to find him and kill him over and over and over again. That'd be like going through Shadow of the Erdtree, never picking up Shadow Tree fragments, never leveling, trying to beat Mesmer, and then trying to beat the final boss of Shadow of the Erdtree without trying to level up at all. That's how insurmountable these situations are. But, I wonder. Because going through a situation like this tends to make an individual stronger, so I wonder how Suho's going to end up at the end of it. But, that's just me. I'm just musing. And I wonder what Park Dojin is going to do now that he knows who Suho is. He better not, it's not like he's going to go after Suho's family, because Suho's family is in different locations, and it's not like he's going to be able to go after his mom, or especially his dad. He already faced his dad, but he doesn't realize it. But let's see how things progress in June. June starts tomorrow! The blessed week! I can't wait! But I think I'll call it there for today's reaction for Solo Leveling Ragnarok. Not too much I need to say other than what I've said already. But interesting chapter. Suho was getting his behind handed to him. So let's see how he gets past this without the ability to actively become stronger in order to come out of this okay. That it would be like playing Kingdom Hearts, but you wouldn't be able to level up at all. And you're trying to beat like the hardest boss. It'd be like a moment like that. So, but yeah, that's currently the situation for Suho. So let's see how things end up. But I'm done, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So, and because I know you're coming back anyway. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples!